UN peacekeeping forces consist of military, police, and civilian personnel from United Nations member states deployed with the consent of the conflicting parties to assist countries in transitioning from war to lasting peace. Operating under the UN Department of Peace Operations, these forces, identifiable by their light blue helmets, provide security, facilitate political processes, protect civilians, and support human rights and the rule of law. Authorized by the UN Security Council, the forces rely on contributions from over 120 countries and operate according to the principles of consent, impartiality, and the non-use of force except in self-defense or to fulfill their mandate. The UN does not maintain its own army. Instead, member countries voluntarily provide troops, police, and civilian staff for each mission. A peacekeeping operation can only be deployed following a decision by the UN Security Council. Chapter 7 of the United Nations Charter grants the Security Council the power and responsibility to take collective action to maintain international peace and security. The UN has been deploying military personnel for peace operations since 1948, when the Security Council authorized the stationing of UN military observers in the Middle East to monitor the armistice agreement between Israel and its Arab neighbors. Currently, approximately 87,000 UN peacekeepers are serving in 14 missions worldwide, a decrease from around 100,000 personnel in 2017. Critics argue that the United Nations is often ineffective, citing that while the organization established basic human rights in the 1950s, many nations violate those rights daily, and the UN takes little action to stop these violations. Arguments asserting that UN peacekeeping forces are ineffective emphasize significant failures, criticisms, and limitations faced by these missions over the decades. Concerns center around limited mandates, lack of resources, bureaucratic inefficiencies, and instances of serious misconduct. However, there is also evidence that peacekeeping has achieved major successes in preventing bloodshed and stabilizing conflict zones.